Hey, Big Brother fans. So tonight it was live eviction night, and we can report Tucker Des Lauriers got his way, and one of his main targets is out of the house. Salty about it too. And let's talk about the votes that sent her packing and her reaction and the trash talking she did right before everybody took their votes. So we started the episode with Cam, Chelsie, and Brooklyn on the block, with Tucker deeply set on seeing Brooklyn evicted unless she won in the AI arena. No matter what, Tucker wanted Cam to stay in the house if he didn't win and was still on the block. But T-Core and Kimo had been talking, as we reported in a prior video, about another vote flip. They wanted to see Cam out, and both Brooklyn and Chelsie saved. But Tucker is quite certain those two are scheming to take him down and are very dangerous to his game. And he is not wrong. So tonight's vote was critical for the HOH, who's at great risk next week because, of course, he can't play in the HOH comp. So I will say that Quinn and some of the others that have been targeting Tucker, you know, there's still some risk there, but he might have done enough this past week to buy another week of safety until he can play in the next HOH comp. Obviously, it's down to who wins it, but he pulled Leah closer. Tucker solidified things with Joseph and Angela, and Tucker got Makensy on his side, and he actually has Kimo leaning closer to him than to T-Core, although she doesn't know that. We got to see more of Tucker's attitude and the backlash from the veto meeting, which didn't show on the feeds and which didn't show at the veto episode. I thought it was very interesting. Chelsie was quite certain Quinn or Joseph sold her out, and of course they both blabbed. Quinn was worried about heat coming his way, but glad to be off the block, so he was all smiles. And he did tell her he only told T-Core and Kimo, but telling Kimo is basically like telling Tucker. So then we were heading into the BBAI arena. The comp was about deciphering words, and I expected it to be harder. They had to see these phrases, run into the other room to make 3 images reflected by the phrases. It looked like a lot of confusion. It was very weird. And Chelsie ended up winning the AI arena, which left Cam and Brooklyn on the block. And of course, in that scenario, everybody knew it was Tucker's goal to have Brooklyn Rivera evicted in week 5. And then the vote flip that was plotted by T-Core and Kimo was mostly about saving Chelsie over Cam, but there wasn't a lot of time to do a lot of plotting, and I do think that they weren't going to make such a fight over Brooklyn that they might have made over Chelsie, who is quite close to them. So Brooklyn immediately began working to stay in the house. She talked to T-Core and Kimo before the votes, probably spent a little too long talking to them, really. Meanwhile, Cam was just standing around, not even campaigning. Dude is unconcerned, not entirely sure he knows he's playing Big Brother on most days. Brooklyn then made this spontaneous speech to everybody before the actual Julie Chen prompted speechifying. And Brooklyn was saying, keep me in the house because Tucker's scared of me. Brooklyn said she was a shield and they'll always stay safe because she will remain a bigger target. But then this is what I feel like wasn't a good idea. Brooklyn told the rest of the house guests they are all playing for second place, and Tucker chimed in and said everybody has a chance to win. But Brooklyn clapped back saying not with Tucker in the house, and Brooklyn promised to put Tucker on the block. And then he clapped back saying, and I'd come right back down. Depending on the challenge, he's probably not wrong. Cam's pre-vote speech was just kind of goofy. He loved everybody. He appreciates them. And then says, vote for me. And then he realized, oh, that's not right. Vote to keep me. So again, not sure he knows that he's even playing. Brooklyn thanked Jesus and her family and her kids, and again, appealed to keep her in the house and said she cannot wait for someone to take out Tucker. With 5 votes needed to evict, this is how it worked out. Votes to evict Cam, Chelsie. votes to evict Brooklyn, Leah, Quinn, Makensy, Rubina, and Kimo, T-Core, Angela, and Joseph. And it did look like that Kimo asked who Rubina voted for. So I thought that was kind of interesting just to make sure they're still on with what they talked about. And that was it. Brooklyn was evicted on an 8-1 vote in week 5, pre-jury, by the way. I don't think she did herself any favors insulting everyone that was voting by saying they're playing for second. I mean, maybe it's true, but even so, that's a slam, and that didn't get her any sympathy, I think. And in Brooklyn's goodbye videos, Tucker said he loves her as a person, can't wait to meet Brooklyn's family in Texas. Rubina said she couldn't forget that she voted to evict her. Chelsea's message was all of best friend love, and the ever reliable Angela said she shouldn't have eaten her charcuterie board stuff. Brooklyn actually laughed at that and told Julie she couldn't let the good meat and cheese go to waste. And as we know, we did a video on it, Angela was very angry because those meats and cheeses could have stayed good for another week, damn it. So she's still salty about Brooklyn. That's it. We will be back with live feed spoilers on who won the head of household soon. And they did say on tonight's episode 3 nominees. So the BBAI arena remains in play. I wonder if they're just going to leave it in there all summer long so that they can't really have blindsides, which I love me some backdoor action on Big Brother. I know that doesn't sound right. Whoops. Anyway, I love Big Brother backdoor action, and we can't have that with the arena in play. So we'll see how long it lingers. We're going to get instigator stuff coming. There's a lot ahead. Check back soon for more Big Brother news and live feeds insights.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.